can't do. I walk through the fire with them Jordan 4s. Still in the game and they still rooting for the boy. Grown man boss, real nigga shit. Whoa. These niggas fake, man, ain't none of them really rich. Money, no money, and we don't know y'all. We been really in the trenches, we got niggas on the yard. 23 and 1 and never see the sun. They been in so long, they never seen their sons. And it's the type of shit that we go through. Living on faith, man, and trying to be hopeful. A lot of dreams buried in the cemetery. The game they playing out here, y'all know it's very scary. I keep my heart cold like October to February. I'm trying to hit on every number like I'm Jerry. Go large or go home. I'm in the zone like I'm 2-3. And I'm playing with an attitude. Timberwolves, KG. I talk slick, nigga know that I'm nasty. And when it's wartime, know that we ain't trying to be classy.
Right now, the DJ Epps and Friends Show. Weeknights at 10 p.m. with live turntable mixes and interviews. It's time to turn up your smart device and crank it loud.
Hey, yo, check this out. This your boy Diddy. As we proceed to give you what you need, we are the world famous, the supreme, grand imperial. Hey, yo, Epps, let these motherfuckers know.
Father God, we first want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for love. Thank you for those who are tuned in to this live at this moment. We pray, Lord, that whoever is tuned in right now, that you bless them. Allow them to have an enjoyable time. Allow them to be able to come on here and not worry about problems and not worry about what is going on, but we know that you are taking care of it. At this moment, at this time, allow people to feel loved, to feel peace, and to smile and enjoy. For you said, do not be weary of doing good. So I pray that everybody sows good and reaps good, encouraging one another and looking out for one another. In your holy name we pray. Amen. This is DJ Epps and Friends. Let's go.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? We back at it, man. What a great week. What a great weekend. This is Celebrity Tuesdays. The number one DJ show on social media is your boy DJ Epps with the DJ Epps and Friends. On Tuesdays, you know what we do, man. We bring them celebrities in here, man. We bring my friends, family. You know how we do, man. They come to drop gems. We find out what they up to, what they going on, what's going on in their life and all that. So Celebrity Tuesdays is popping off right here, live and direct for you and yours. And tonight, you see it, Veronica Vega will be our special guest on the show today. So get ready, all right, man? Veronica Vega about to pop up in here in about 5 minutes, but I got to let you know what's going on, all right? Don't forget the show is brought to you by Positivity Water. You need that water in your life, man. Trust me, man. Alkaline water is the way to go. I appreciate everybody that's picking up the Positivity Water, man. This is a great project a friend of mine is doing, and I happen to catch shares with it. Big shout out to my brother DJ Envy, the Breakfast Club, City Trends, everybody that's carrying the Positivity Water. If you need this right here, pick it up. You see it on your local stores, pick it up. Alkaline water, all right? Heartbreak, I see you, baby. How you doing, beautiful? Long time no see. What up, man? Chef Fabienne in the building. What's going on? Who else? Byron in the building. Who's that? ESC Promotion in the building was popping. Word up, man. Philip on Pump 5. My grandmother passed away on Friday, and her birthday was Sunday. This should uplift me tonight. Listen, we send our condolences to you, the family. Father's Day is right around the corner, and for anybody to lose any abuela, grandmother, auntie, mother, it's a sad feeling. We need mothers. We need our beautiful queens in this world. You know what I mean? I would not be around here if it was not for my wife, especially my mother. So, I understand. So fill up Pump 5. We send our condolences to you and the family, all right? Ricky Batts in the building was good, family. Mike Nasty was good. Also happening, coming up, man, this Saturday Yes, listen, man. Sunset Music Brunch in Lauderdale is popping off, man. A new party's happening in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County at the Grand Hotel. It's over there in Powerline. You see the address right there. Now, understand, this party is going to be starting from 6 p.m. and on. Me, I'm going to get there after my Saturday night ride on Sirius XM Rock the Bells. Out there 12 a.m., midnight. I'll be at the Flamingo Room holding it down. So if you're in that Fort Lauderdale area and you want to come party with your boy DJ Epps, pull up, man. Shout to my man Louis Oliver. He's the one that's throwing the party. Shout to my man Blackout. Yeah, man, trust me. You want to come check us out, man. It's going to be a big situation, all right? This Indie Thursday, Smokey Joe will be in the building. Now, you know what I do on Thursdays here. You know what I mean? We bring them indies artists out here so we can help break their music, you know, and not only just, you know, artists, you know, like I said, man, you know, if you're just independent and you're doing your own Thug Thizzle and whatever you want to promote, my platform is wide open for you, man. Just come holler at me, hit my DM, and me and Team Epps will help you, you know, jump it off. So Smokey Joe will be on Indie Thursdays this Thursday. You don't want to miss out on that, all right? New York City. Everybody's talking about it, man. Yes, Rock the Bell Festival, second annual is going down Saturday, August 5th. Don't call it a comeback. I'm going to be up there holding it down with Rock the Bells. Yep, Queen Latifah performing live, Ludacris, De La Soul, Big Daddy Kane, Salt Pepper, Yo-Yo, who else? Rakim, you know what I mean? Method Man, Redman, and a whole lot more. Swiss Beats and Friends. It's going to be crazy, man. So if you're in New York, August 5th, Saturday, you're in that Queens area, come to that Forest Hill Stadium and come party with us. Also for Rock the Bells, we're not going to forget, in November, everybody's talking about the cruise, the Rock the Bell cruise. I'm going to be on there shaking that boat, man. I'm going to be rocking that boat like Aaliyah, man. Trust me, man. It's going to be crazy, man. The Rock the Bell cruise, Miami to Bahamas, happening November 13th to the 17th. Live and direct. Yep, everybody's going to be. You see the lineup. Shout to DJ Quick, Rod Digger, EPMD, Trick Daddy, Trina, Rick Ross, Little John, Big Boy, DJ Jazzy Jeff, MC Light, Ghostface Killer, Big Daddy Kane, Manny Fresh, Bun B, Bahama Dia. Y'all don't really hardly get to, some of y'all don't even know who Bahama Dia, like who? Bahama who? Nah, Bahama Dia is going to be on there. So you need to be on that cruise, all right? Miami to Bahamas, November 13th to the 17th. It's going to be a problem. Yeah. King Management, you already know. Let them know, right? And once again, speaking about Rock the Bell, you know my show is the #1 weekend show in the world. It's a Saturday night ride. You can catch me at 9 p.m. Eastern on Rock the Bells, Sirius XM, for my man LL Cool J Rock the Bell Radio. It's going to be crazy, man. Every Saturday, 9 to 11, I hold it down, putting it on from Miami, Florida. Shout to Sirius XM. If you missed that ride, it also plays back at 1 o'clock in the morning. All right, man. Rated R was popping. All right, you already know, man. Like I promised you, live and direct. This is Celebrity Tuesdays with the world famous DJ Epps, with the #1 DJ show on social media, Instagram, and all that good stuff, man. So please understand, my girl Veronica Vega is our special. Google her or just stay on deck and she gonna let you know what's popping. All right, man. Let's get to it. Veronica Vega, our special guest today. Hey, beautiful.
How are you? Good evening.
Good evening. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
One thing I always loved about you is your laugh. I don't know if anybody told you that.
It's evil.
No,
Thank you.
It's not evil, but it just got this, like.
It has joy in it. I think
Yes,
joy in
yes, yes. But if you are up to evil, it could work too.
Like every time I used to laugh a lot when I was little, my grandma used to be like, "That's the devil. That's the devil. You gotta stop." Like, so now when I laugh, I always remember that.
Everybody, man, if you just chimed in on my Twitch, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, this is my girl Veronica Vega, man, my special guest today. V, how you been, girl?
I have been really good. I think 2020. Well, I haven't even gone on live since like 2019.
Since the pandemic.
Yes. So I just kind of like got offline and started to like, I don't know, just started doing a lot of work on myself, started working out, started eating right, I always worked out and ate right, but then I really just got into nature and plants and being outdoors. And then I got into science, and then I started going to school for plant biology.
Right.
And then I don't know, I guess the more work that you do, the more that you feel like life opens up for you. And I think the happier you are, because the more accomplished you feel.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
A lot has happened, but I think that 2020 like moved my life. It just allowed me to be able to pivot and do something more profound, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not? And as I watch you grow and come out the pandemic, a different Veronica Vega, I would say, you know what I mean? Because before that, you know, there was a lot happening, not just for you, but for Miami. And when I say for Miami, let's say Love and Hip Hop Miami, you know, certain type of music coming out of the rock bottom, what we used to call it. You know, I enjoyed watching you just grow. You know what I mean? This girl from Hialeah. You know, by the way, how do you say it? Give me that pronunciation for Hialeah, because there's a lot of out-of-towners. They be like Hialeah, Hialeah.
Hialeah. You could say Hialeah is how you say it.
I know. Trust me, I know. But there's a lot of out-of-towners. You know, back in the days, there were stupid people that would say, "Oh, I'm coming to Coconut Grove." It's Coconut Grove, motherfucker. You don't know how to read. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's Hialeah.
There you go. There you go. Now, you coming out of Hialeah, man. Talk to me about your upbringing and whatnot, man, and your family and how you decided to become, you know, who you are right now. Where do I start, right?
I think I just always, both of my parents, my mom is from Venezuela, my dad is from Cuba.
Right.
So they're both immigrants. My whole family are immigrants, and they came to this country with a big dream, right? The American dream that everyone wants to live. But unfortunately, my grandparents weren't really able to provide the life for my parents that they would have wanted to provide, because they were, you know, they come into a new country fresh, they don't really know anything, and they're just trying to build. So Hialeah was kind of the place that our family got stationed, and like the first place that kind of really accepted a lot of Cubans in that space and allowed for the city to grow. And my parents had me when I was really young. My mom was 18, my dad was 20. So growing up, I kind of spent a lot of time with my grandparents and just like being outdoors, playing with the kids. You know, my generation, we played outside, like being with my cousins, everybody in the neighborhood. And I don't know, I just always had a real affinity for like entertaining people, loving people, like changing people's lives. Being able to create or cultivate change and watching it in other people, and like just really being able to see joy, because it was so difficult, I think, as you're growing up to see your family actually experience joy with all of the troubles and the hard work that they had to experience. So I think that seeing so many things happen in our neighborhoods and with our families, for me personally, I just always wanted to do something more, do something bigger. And then I ended up, when I was 13 years old, I told my mom, I was like, yo, I want to do music. I want to pursue music seriously. My dad was super strict when my parents got divorced when I was 7, but my dad was like, no, like singing is for whores. Like singing is for bitches that want to go fuck, and like, you know, super Cuban, like macho. Like,
where did he get that from?
Maybe he fucked some bitches. I don't know, but
what kind of women was he listening to?
I don't know, but for him it was just like that's a dirty world, and I do understand what he means now. Like it's a dark place if you don't know how to navigate it, and you're not with the right people, you don't have the right mentality.
Right.
And my dad just wasn't with the shit, but my mom has always been with the shit. So my mom was like, since my parents got divorced, my mom kind of like let go in there. Yeah, sell her. And
so
then,
what was first, dancing or singer? Because you know you learn how to do both.
I always loved dancers. Like I've always like I've always watched people that can move. It doesn't even matter what type of dance you do, but like I always say, like the most finest men in the world are men that can dance.
Mm-hmm.
I just, people that are able to move their body have always been attractive to me. But singing was the first thing that I think won my heart. Like listening to Whitney Houston. My mom used to listen to Mariah Carey all the time, Lauryn Hill, Toni Braxton, Selena.
Right.
And I don't, Celine Dion, like I love Celine Dion. My mom used to listen to that music all the time. So for me, when I was, 10, the Titanic soundtrack came out. Remember how big that was when it came out?
Right.
When I was a kid. So it was a big, like singing was like really big when I was young.
Right.
There were a lot of artists that danced, like Janet or like Britney Spears. And I loved Britney Spears too, but there was just something about the really big soundtracks, like The Bodyguard and the Titanic movie, and all of these were super big when I was young. So I think singing, I wanted that. Like I wanted that grandness, that, you know, that beauty, that elegance, that grace that existed in that space. So I was like, when I was 13, I was like, I want to start really doing this. And I remember we had a family member that had heard me sing just randomly, because, you know, your parents, they're like, I didn't grow up in the church, where I feel like a lot of times music kind of comes up in the church for a lot of people at a young age. I kind of like missed that whole music opportunity because my parents were just not in that space. So although I wasn't, my mom did listen to a lot of music, a lot of Spanish music too, by the way. But I didn't really like get into music or know that I could be a part of music or be in music until like you started seeing VH1 and MTV and all of these media programs that started becoming really popular in the 90s. And then I was like, damn, I could actually be in that space. Like that's a real space that you could be in. And I was like, I want to sing. And my mom was like, all right, cool, I'll take you to singing lessons. And I started to do singing lessons, but I was too like embarrassed. I was too scared. I would laugh. Like I would laugh the whole time because I was, you know, like when they say when you're acting, you have to just let everything go and just be cool with like making an ass of yourself.
Right.
It was impossible for me at 13. I was just like, I can't do it. I'm like too self-conscious. And my mom was like, no, Palapinga, you're getting out of that shit. I'm not it's serious. I'm taking you out. And I remember I was sad, but then my mom, 2 years later, I was like, Mom, I'm really serious now. Like, I really want to do this. And when I was 15, my mom put me into singing lessons again, and I started taking it serious. And I was working with this woman named Lisa DeMilo. She still lives in Kent, an older woman who like really taught me how to use my diaphragm. And she just really took me in and nurtured me and allowed me to sing as much as I wanted all day. Like I would go over there and work with her for like an hour or two with like singing and then the piano and warm-ups. And then she would let me just sing for like 2, 3, 4 hours, basically like babysit me almost. And I couldn't get away from that space. And we had heard, my mom had heard through another friend that was going to the same singing class that there was these auditions. So I don't know if you remember, because this is a while ago, but there was, before American Idol, there was a man named Lou Pearlman who used to manage Britney Spears and NSYNC and a lot of like big pop acts. And he had a conference. These conferences that they used to have back in the day were like A&Rs from record labels used to go, and they used to be people that used to sing and dance and whatever, but it wasn't televised. And I went to one of those, which by the way costs a lot of money. Like they be taking money. That's a good thing about social media now, is that you're able to really create opportunities for yourself that my parents had to spend money to like give me chances, because you couldn't really get a chance like that unless you came across someone that was respected in the music business, and then you were ready, like, all right, I'm gonna sing for you right now. You know, like now you could be found in the comfort of your own home, but then you had to go outside, you know. And so I went and I didn't even place. Like I didn't place, but I got seen by an A&R at Atlantic, and he was like, oh, do you sing by any chance? Because, you know, those conferences are in a big hotel and you're walking around or whatever. And he's like, do you? And those things are divided into rooms. So like the dance section has like 4 rooms with judges, the acting, the singing, and the modeling, I things.
Right.
That's how it's divided. And there's different judges in different rooms. So sometimes you actually don't get an opportunity you don't see everyone. You just see that category of those people that are available for those hours that day.
Right.
So someone else happened to see me and they're like, yo, like, do you happen to sing? And I was like, yes, I happen to sing. I have a demo. Like, my mom had to pay for me to get all of that shit. Like, I remember going to the studio for this first time and not knowing how to use anything in the studio and being so fucking scared to, like, because once you put those headphones on and you hear everything for the first time, imagine, like, you're like 15 years old. And for some people, that might be normal. But for me, I'm like, what the fuck? This is so loud and so clear. Like, if I make a mistake, everyone on the other side is good. And my mom went through that whole process. We paid a bunch of money for me to get a demo. The demo was terrible. Like, the music behind it, like, it wasn't like fly and cool. It was like local type. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
It local, like terrible. Not terrible, but not what.
I don't think. Come on. Everybody's first demo could be like, to the artist, to the DJ, to the producer. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that was my first shit. That was whack." You know what I mean? Like, nah, come on, man.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to hear it. So somebody. But yeah, so he was like, "You got a demo?" I was like, "Yeah, you know, you come over there, you have your little package or whatever, you got your little envelope, and you pass it out to people. You have your little comp cards
Yeah.
Did photo shoots, all that stuff. Damn, you're bringing back memories. Well, I haven't touched. Like, I've gone back.
Listen. You got to think about those things, because like once we get off the live, you're gonna remember these things, and you may want to bring those elements back. You know what I mean? To move further in your career. You know what I mean? What they say, you got to take 2 steps back to keep on moving forward. Sometimes. You know. Yeah, you know, but you've done a great job. Your parents, your mom done a great job with you. Was J-Lo somewhere in your influence to you in any way?
I think if you don't like J-Lo, you're a hating ass bitch. Like, J-Lo is top tier. Like, of course I love J-Lo. Like, of course you got to talk about J-Lo. I think aside from Selena, J-Lo, that was it. It's J-Lo, Shakira, Selena.
Mm-hmm.
Really, Shakira was always in the more global space of like, and more Spanish.
Right.
And J-Lo was hip hop. Like, she was American.
Right.
She was like the American girl. Before that was Selena, right? But she played the story of Selena so well that we kind of felt like she was Selena. If you didn't know better, because when I saw the Selena movie, I was 6, 5. So J-Lo was Selena to us, to my generation.
Right.
And I mean that with, you know, all due respect, like no disrespect to Selena and everything, you know, or what she was or the talent that she was or what she did, because Jennifer is completely different. But of course, I love Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
I think if you don't, then you're blind. And
Damn right. Everybody, if you just chimed in, man, this is my girl Veronica Vega. She in the building with me for Celebrity Tuesdays. Big shout to my man, Rated R super producer in the building. I see you, homie. DJ Quest was popping, and Fort Myers was good family. So Veronica, your music career done kind of took off because you ran into a guy named Polo the Don.
Yeah, you skipped a lot, but yeah, then I met.
Well, you know, I just want to go to the meat and potatoes.
But no. It is, Polo took my career to another level.
That's what I saw. You know what I mean? Growing up with you in Miami. You know what I mean? How was your experience with Polo?
Oh, I always say this every chance. So Polo is a winner. He loves to win.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to compete. And he has a great eye and a great ear. Mm-hmm. He's also super talented. I always wanted to work with Polo. I met Polo when I was 16 years old and didn't have a chance to work with him. At that time, he was doing Crying Out For Me for Mario and London Bridge for Fergie and Pussycat Dolls, the Buttons record. And I was, this is the type of person that would understand where I'm supposed to go in my life, because he did like hip hop, pop music.
Right.
And I was like, damn, like he'd really be able to understand me. And the opportunity presented itself for us to meet again. And when we did, I was like, yo, look, please, like, I need an opportunity to be able to live my dream. And well, what is it? What do you have to show me? Like, are you willing? What are you like? Who are you? And are you willing to work? Like, you know, what do you have going on? And I remember he looked at me and he was like, you know, first of all, he was like, I think that, you know, I used to have dark hair. And he was like, I think you should lighten your hair. He was like, I think that your features are very strong and dark hair would make you even more intimidating. He was like, that's what I see first. He was like, 2, I think you need to lose 20 pounds if you want to take this serious. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, he was working with Esther Dean at the time. And when we had met again, they were playing that record. Like Esther Dean had a reference record that she had made. And I happened to listen to it. And I was like, yo, please let me do this record. And fucking incredible. Esther Dean, like, shout out Esther Dean, so talented. And Polo was like, all right, cool, record the, he left me in the studio. He was like, all right, cool, come to LA, get in the studio, here's the song, record it, good luck, I'm out, I'll talk to you later. I'll come back. See
right.
What? And I went into the booth that day, I recorded the record, he came back and he was like, you recorded the record on your own? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, cool. So you could tell at that moment, he was like, all right, so she's willing to figure it out and fix it and do whatever she needs to do. I stayed in LA maybe for like 2 days, and I had to go back home because I had some things that I needed to do, a show and stuff like that, because I was doing like smaller stuff. And I was like, damn, like I wonder if I'm ever really gonna like come back, because I had to go. I went, but I didn't know I was gonna actually stay and record music. I thought I was just gonna have a meeting with him, but he allowed me to like record. So I was like, damn, I started recording, like I want to go back, like I want to do more, like I want to prove to him that I like.
Right. You could do this.
And so I came home, and I remember calling my dad, and I was like, my dad works out a lot. And I was like, Dad, like I met with this producer, and he says that I got to lose 20 pounds. And my dad was like, all right, cool. Tomorrow, 6 a.m., let's go to the gym. And so I started to go to the gym, and I went the next day and I dyed my hair blonde. And then I texted him from the treadmill, and I was like, yo, what's up? Like, when am I going to come back to LA? Like, I'm working out with blonde hair. Like, what's up? And I think he was like, this motherfucking crazy bitch. Yes. Like, I want to see what's up. Like, can she, like, you know what I'm saying? Will she?
Yeah.
She has the right energy. And so I went.
And you listen. And you listen.
Yeah.
I think most artists, most producers, they want to see if you are listening to them, because, you know, they could take you somewhere. And if anybody could listen to a producer, DJ, whatever, like, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I watch you guys work from a distance. I'm like, damn, you know, that's pretty cool that Polo's putting Veronica on and whatnot.
Yeah, and then shoot, I never left. I didn't leave LA after that. We started working on a lot of things. But Polo had transitions that were happening in his career at the same time.
Right.
Living his world, I'm living my world.
Right.
We were all living in LA, and then we all transitioned to Atlanta, which was really great for me too, because I was able to work with a lot of choreographers and songwriters and different super talented people. That Polo also had like I said, he has a great ear and a great eye. So like Jazzy was over there, Ink was over there, Hit Boy, like all of these really great talents, Esther Dean, were all working in that space. So I remember being like, holy fuck, like out of like not being anywhere, like now I'm around everything all at once. And it was, I remember crying a lot of times because I just couldn't believe that was my reality, that I was living in everything that I had dreamed had happened. And I remember I used to look at him and I used to cry, and he's like, oh my God, like, I thank you so much. And so working with Polo was always a constant push. Like after that, when I went to LA, lost 20 pounds. And he was just like, the more that I started doing things, he was like, all right, cool. I tell her to do something, she does it. Unfortunately, there was a lot of, like I said, moving parts, and we weren't able to move as rapidly as we wanted with my project. We was working Carrie Hilson's project. He had Lloyd at the time. And those artists are priority, you know, like they have to come out within a certain amount of time, especially then. And then, you know, a transition happened with the internet too. Like things started changing a lot more, and Instagram started becoming more popular, and lives and things started changing. And I kind of had to adapt with the times because I come from like papers and demos with CDs, but it's like, but I look like I could be from this generation, but I'm not. I'm like from the generation before. So I'm still like viejita mentality in a way, you know?
Right. And you know, you surround yourself with great artists and even end up working with them. Like you did a joint with Lil Wayne and Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
You know what I mean? You worked with Pitbull. You know what I mean? Shoot, working with these guys. If you was crying with Polo, what were you doing? How were you feeling when you found out that you got to create hit record history with these type of artists, man? Because those records was dope, man.
Thank you. I've known Pitbull since I was a young girl, since I was starting. I mean, he's from Miami, so if you're doing music and you were in Miami, like I met him when I was really young, and he's always been there for me, always mentored me, always kind of like had lend me a listening ear.
Right.
Okay, you know, what is it you have going on? I remember when I signed a deal when I was 15 years old. I got signed to Atlantic, and Craig Cowman actually signed me to Atlantic, and we ended up there used to be a studio on 7th and between Collins and Ocean, where like Jim Johnson used to work and stuff.
I think that's Sobe, is it?
Yes, and there was a Grazzi's there, like an Italian restaurant.
Right.
Go there to eat, and we went there, and Pitt was there. I mean, he was used to like be out there at the little bar right there, just hanging.
Right.
And he saw that we were out there, and he was like, "Yo, let's do." He was sitting there while we were having like our celebration dinner, and he came by and he made a toast, and he was like, "So that's like I know him before the Polo thing happened," and he came by and he made a toast, and he was like. He's like, this is when the hard work begins. And I'll never so to have a chance to work with him and that he was like, you know what, like to put your money where your mouth is and be like, you know, I do want to help somebody from my city and I do want to give you an opportunity. And even when he did Wicked, by the way, Wicked did really well for us overseas, like a worldwide song, top 5 in Spain, France. And he didn't charge me for that. Like he didn't charge me for the video, he didn't charge me for the feature. Like real love. Like I've seen you do this for a really long time.
Pitt.
Like,
that's Pitt, man. Like, you know what I mean? If he sees the talent and he knows you from the crib too, like he's definitely gonna, you know, put a hand out and help out however he can.
Like you know, one thing I have noticed as I've matured is that we always look at people that are on social, on media platforms, right? And we look at them and they're like, oh my God. But sometimes I think I've had the honor and the pleasure of working with people or meeting people that have been in the media that are truly gifts to like life. Like it was a gift to people, not just a gift to music or entertainment. Like he's a gift when he walks in the room, like his presence is a gift. Like Lil Wayne, like, so I actually I don't have the same relationship with Wayne, but Polo has a great relationship with Wayne, and that's how that came about for me. And I had run into him and had brief conversations in the past, but I never really had like, you know, a deep conversation or like sat with him in the studio. I didn't see him record the record. Polo surprised me that feature, and I remember I started crying because who doesn't love Lil Wayne? Like Wayne. And I spends a lot of time in Miami too, so it was just, and again, like that, like my 13 to 16, that was like Lil Wayne was the hottest in his whole life. Right, prime. So again, this is like this is my music. Like these are my people. These are the people that you like look up to, and you're like, wow, I would love to have a success like you. So I don't know. It's very,
you gotta appreciate life. You gotta appreciate what was brought to your table, man.
Yeah.
And all these hit records, man, was dope. And yes, Wicked with Pitbull was definitely a hot record. Wave, I remember doing Wave. You came and met up with me in West Palm Beach radio station, and we was pushing Wave for you. Wave was a great hit record as well. What was the issue with Pay Me?
First of all,
the song called Pay Me. Everybody, in case you don't know, she has a song called Pay Me, and there was an issue I saw online with it, and I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So Talk to me. What was the issue with Pay Me?
First, I think Pay Me was a first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Pay Me opened the door for a lot of records like Pay Me that came after. And I'm not saying like I paved the way, because I feel like Trina, Trick, Uncle Luke, and 2 Live Crew paved the way from a Miami standpoint. But I remember when I heard the Pay Me record for the first time, I was like, this is some Miami shit. Like 80s, early 90s Miami shit.
Right.
And even like Kaya, like it reminded me of all of that space, and just being from Miami and loving that sound and going to parties and house parties. I was like, yo, this record is fire. But we all know 2 Live Crew, Trina, Kaya, they all got slack because of Uncle Luke. We have parental advisory.
Right.
There was, you know, so I think when you come into a new generation and you're like, and you're talking so dirty, and I think talking so what's the word, vulgar, like it was a very vulgar record. And repeated it had like a bunch of chorus. There was a lot of things that I think that got people's attention about the record.
Right.
And I think people actually enjoyed the record until they saw the visual, and they were like, holy shit, this girl says the N-word, but she's not black. And I think, well, first, I think the gays took it. Like they were like, oh, this is like a chant. It's a thing. Like I really thought that like Miami was gonna love it. But Miami was scared to go to that place. But I think it's so funny because now it's like girls talking that way became so popular in the last 6 years.
Right.
That's what girls are doing now. Like they're talking about themselves in a vulgar, explicit way.
Right.
And I think really bold, and I feel like I performed it incredibly. And so it was like you felt me, like you felt the energy, and it was a lot, especially because it was vulgar. I think that people didn't, it was upsetting that that's how you felt me. I think that it was like, I think that what happened inside of people's body was it was like a contradiction. It was a contradiction.
I think they knew that they wanted to accept it, but you know how this world is. They always want to pick something from somebody. It could be a DJ Epps, it could be something from Veronica Vega, or it could be from Drake. Like, no matter what, they just want to find something to pick. And I think that was it. You said it earlier. You know what I mean?
I think that because of that, there was something that they could use. And I think sometimes, okay, Polo always told me, he was like, I hate cute. He's like, you're either on this side or you're on this side, right? He's like, either people care about you or they don't. And that's why they always say like good exposure, bad exposure is the same thing. Right. I hate that really, but what I'm saying is like, love and hate is the same thing. Like it's a strong feeling that you feel about somebody, and when you don't know how to place it, some people be like, "Ooh, I love it," and some people be like, "I hate it. I hate how it makes me feel." But you felt something, and I think that was one of the first times that I ever like, and I think that Polo really enjoyed it because he was like, they feel something when they see it and when they hear it, and it's undeniable. They feel it. And that kind of like led to the space of like Mona at VH1 or at Love and Hip Hop being like, I want you to be a part of the show. Because at that time too, there was so much like turmoil with race. And lo and behold, to me, I'm thinking like, I'm about to make a career here. I'm about to like go put out some music. And I had good music. Like I had Wave hadn't come out yet. Because Pay Me came out before Wave. And so I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity to now
this platform
franchise. It was Miami. Yeah, it was the first season. So I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared because I knew what Love and Hip Hop was. But also, as you learned in the beginning of the conversation, I'm all in when I want to go. Like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make it work. So whatever we have to do, like I want to. Like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it work? Right. So when we went on Love and Hip Hop, I didn't really know anybody on the show. Like that wasn't, I had lived in Atlanta for so long and I had moved back literally so I could do Love and Hip Hop. And Mona had been hitting me for 2 years to do Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and basically like have beef with Jocelyn, ideally. Like I'm sure that
man, that was all planned out, man. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna start from the beginning of the casting, because me and wifey went. They called us over to be part of that, and we went to go visit Mona and others.
I spoke to you about this.
Yeah, me and wifey went, and you know, people encouraged us to just give it a try. Maybe, you know, it will work. Maybe it'll be something different. And you know, talking to certain producers that work side to side with Mona, we kind of both agreed that we didn't want this to mess up my what I built here in Miami with my wife, because they knew exactly, they didn't want to see me and my wife fight. I'm like, all right, but we could be also that couple that encourage people to about love.
Encouragement on that show.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like, if there's any young people listening, like, television is telling a vision that they want to project out into the world.
Right.
And the more views that it gets, the more people like drama. So the more drama that's created, the more views that the place gets. Like, you can't go into it and be ignorant and be like, we're gonna, like, how entertaining is encouragement?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And me and wifey looked at it like, no, we're gonna get into something, and that's not me. That's not what the world or Miami to see me as a drama person. And, you know, honestly, thank God we didn't go with it. Like I said, we looked back and we saw you, and you just had this strut, this outfit, this walk. And then she was like, who's that? I'm like, that's Veronica Vega. I'll never forget that, man. And yeah, you know, it was crazy that they put you in situations with that person. I don't really want to stress using her name, because I
feel like when I look back at my life, like all the things that happen, I think you have to take accountability for the shit that you're a part of. Like, what I was willing to engage in, what I was willing to do for popularity, for likes, for my record.
Yeah, but some of those other stuff came out left.
Huh?
Some of those other stuff came left field to you. I know it did.
Of course. A lot of things came left field to me, but I also wasn't mature enough to handle a situation the way that I look at now. I'm like, oh, I could have like maneuvered this whole situation. Although I don't wish to be in a situation ever again in my life that I don't executive produce or that I'm not a part of creatively, because there's really no point unless you have a contract and you're making a movie,
right,
and you have but other than that, like, it's really psychologically damaging. Matter of fact, they have that in your paperwork. Like, if you have psychological damage, we will not take responsibility. Like, that's how it is to be on that show. Like, it's part of your contractual, like, verbiage.
Right.
And you have to sign off like, oh yeah, if I end up getting Baker acted because they made me look crazy as hell on here or whatever, like, I take full responsibility. They're not paying any medical bills for any of that type of stuff.
Right. You know, you talked about a little while ago, you mentioned that, you know, you took care of your body, you know, you did dieting, you did healthy stuff. Big shout to my girl Novia. Novia, I see you in here. And speaking about
Novia's in here. Novia just a bike ride with me.
I'm about to get to that. I was so shocked. Like, I was watching Novia and I saw she was about to take this bike riding trip from Atlanta to Miami. I'm like, you know what? That's not only sexy, but that's very, very, very brave, and that's awesome. And you guys did it for a cause, and you know, I didn't even know you was on there till I looked on your page and I noticed you doing it too. And I'm like, oh shit, they doing it together. They must obviously know each other. And I was like, That's fucking awesome. Talk to me about this trip.
Well, in 2016, Polo dared me to ride a bicycle from Atlanta to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I ended up doing it, going all of the way. I never rode a bike for more than 5 miles before that. I didn't have a bike. I had to buy a bike that day. That same night that he dared us, we got the bikes to end up leaving. My best friend and I ended up doing the trip, and in that process, we met a lot of people that thought that what we were doing was crazy and cool, like some real Forrest Gump type of shit, because nobody was doing anything like that, especially not girls that weren't athletes, you know?
Right.
And so we end up 16 days later, we end up making it to Miami. And the next year I wanted, you know, there was so many things that was learned on that ride, and like how you slow down time, how you're able to prove to yourself that you can do anything. Like if you ride a bike from Atlanta to Miami, I don't know if you feel like there's anything else that you can't do. I feel like it's such a big feat that you're like, you know, it just, and it opens up your world. You're able to really push yourself to different types of limits and expose yourself to different cultures and meet different people along the way and explore nature and be in silence, which is really fucking insane, but also really revealing. And so the next year I got some sponsors, and I, in a super unorganized way, produced the same exact thing for 10 people to come on the journey. And there was no cause behind it, because we would still go places and people would be like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? And I was doing it at the time because I wanted for these 10 people to have the experience that I had. Like, I wanted to show them what life is on a bike and how much life on a bike can gift you.
Right.
And so and we all made it. That next year we had a lot of things that happened along the way. Like, you go through like super highs and lows on the trip.
Right.
And you know, you're with complete strangers, so it's like, or even if you and your wife went on a bike ride here to Atlanta by yourselves, at some point y'all will have an argument about like, why are you going so slow? What is
right.
But it's because you just start getting so like, you know, like things start getting on your nerves and you become tired and depleted. And so then you start like seeing different traits of the person, and you have to figure out how do you cope with that person's traits. And it just teaches you, it like helps you develop a lot as emotionally.
Right.
So 2019 came, and I did a song with Quavo called Million, and we were working so much on that ride and on that video and doing all of those things. And I started like working on my project with Polo, because we never put a project out.
Right.
Like all these years, never put out a full
nothing.
No project, just singles. Which I understand now, but there's a lot of things with Polo that I'm like, damn, like I understood it so much. Like he was so ahead of everything. Like he's just, I feel like he's like 10 years ahead.
Right.
And so I wasn't able to do it in 2019, and then 2020 happened, and then 2021, people were still kind of like, are they going outside or are they not going outside? Like it was still weird. 2022, I was like, I'm about to make the ride a real thing. And I met with an investor, and I told them what I had going on and what the ride is and how it changes people's lives, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, you're only changing 10 people's lives? And I was like, yeah, I thought 10 is more than me. Like, it's so much.
Right.
Yeah, well, if you want to get people really involved, you need to help a lot more than 10 people. And while I was on the ride, we would meet people that would always be like, I could never do anything like that. That's so hard. I would have to train for that. I would never be able to do it. And so many people that just didn't believe in the possibility of being able to do something like that. And I knew, because my friend and I didn't even train to go on the ride. I just got on it and started going. We didn't have a map. We didn't have directions. We didn't have a route. We didn't know where we were going to sleep at night. We didn't know anything. We just left. So I'm like, if we did it, anybody that has mobility, like, could do it. I think that somebody that is handicapped can do the ride, like body-wise. But I was like, you know what? The only thing that would stop somebody from being able to complete this ride is to not be mentally capable.
And how many hours was this?
This was 17 days.
17 days. This is obviously what? Are you stopping by hotels and getting some sleep?
Interesting, because we stayed at, so we called a lot of like local churches, community centers in each city that we were stopping at, and we did this thing called glamping. So you basically are camping but indoors, and so these churches took us in, and we had air mattresses and sleeping bags, and our 9 participants this year rode an average of 50 miles a day, and then would get to the place that was hosting us for the night. Sometimes they would cook for us. Sometimes, like, it's a beautiful thing because you're able to see other parts of the world in a very intimate way, and you're able to meet people that take you in and try to help you. So it's super humbling too.
Right.
And so this year we didn't stay at hotels. We stayed mostly at churches and some community centers and gyms, but majority of the places that took us in were churches, and they allowed us to stay on their floor, like in their main areas or whatever. And so we would set up all of our stuff on the floor every night, and we would sleep there. And then the next morning we would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we would start getting ready. And we had a support vehicle where we would pack all of our stuff in. And my sister and the
support vehicle follows you as you go?
They don't follow you, but they provide transportation of your belongings. And if something happens throughout the trip, they're able to come provide support for you. Like, aside from every certain amount of miles each day, around every 15 miles, the van would stop if there were no gas stations or places to be able to rest that would have hydration. And the van had hydration and like basic things to eat so you could get your blood sugar up and your energy up.
Right. Man, listen, you know, you're my friend. Novi's my friend. And to see you guys took 17 days to ride your bike from Atlanta, Miami, I salute you guys. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You should come next year. You should
doing that shit. I ain't doing that shit.
I say come on our last day if you're in Miami, and ride the last 10 miles with us. Ride it in with us. Ride in with us.
You know what? Maybe that. Yes. That I probably could handle.
And then
I'm a DJ.
You're going to be like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I think you're going to be like.
And I know some guys I would want to do. Yeah, I know some guys I would want to do it too. So yeah, you know, let's try to talk about that. Let's figure it out.
I'm serious. By the way, this year we raised over $10,000 for 2 organizations.
One of them was mental health, wasn't it?
Yes. So so mental health is such a weird topic to talk about, right? Because there's so many categories. But I believe that mental health really starts from being able to have a foundation, like some type of stability. So this year, every year we choose different organizations that have good reputation in Miami and Atlanta, wherever our starting and arrival points are. And that's how, and we split it in half. So Lotus House is in Overtown here in Miami, and they're a homeless shelter for women and children. So a lot of times when women end up homeless, it's usually because they're in abusive situations, or their house has burnt down, or they kind of stayed without anything. And anybody who's ever been in a homeless situation knows that majority of homeless places, it's easier for a man to get a bed than a woman with children. There's so much going on.
Right.
It's hard to be able to get in that line, to be able to, to get a bed. And so this place allows women to be able to come in there with all of their children, and they provide job training. They provide, they're able to get you your paperwork if your birth certificate burnt, if your license is, expired, whatever legal paperwork you need to get together to go outside and be able to provide for your family. They teach you trades. They teach you how to cook, how to work in a thrift store. Everything that you donate there gets recycled within the place. They also are able to provide medical assistance to anybody that goes there. And for us, I think that mental health, for me, I chose these locations. By the way, City of Refuge in Atlanta does the same thing, but for men as well. And you already know, like, if you don't have any money and you're out in the street and you're struggling and you're trying to figure it out, and you have 4 kids, you don't even know what contraception is because your mom didn't talk to you about it. You're 19 years old, 20 years old. You're not even like, how do you actually find your place in life?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that these centers, which I've been to, that do unbelievable, unmatched work.
I could imagine.
Unmatched. You can go there at any time. Anybody can go there. It's an open door policy. You could see what is going on there, how they take care of these women and their children.
Mm-hmm.
And diapers, formula, everything. Like, those kids don't need anything. And so for a mother, I think that is trying to get her life together, to be able to have that foundation first, to start building on your mind, because you can't even think straight when you don't have anything, you know. So for us this year, I think that was, because sometimes people are like, why homeless shelter with mental health? And it's because the people that don't have the resources, when you're in an oppressed situation, how do you get your mental state together if you don't have a community of people that are there to support you like a tribe?
Right.
We wanted to give to tribes that were type of real, like, nitty gritty work that needs to be done in the community.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, you know, the show, we got to get ready to go. Somebody had asked, let me just ask this one question. Somebody had asked a question. It went away. Matter of fact, just give me a yes or no. You don't got to give me no details on them, but they were asking if you had made up with Amara La Negra.
Yeah, I think we're cool.
Okay, that's it. That's all I need to. That's all. You don't even. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, y'all both beautiful women, and y'all, if y'all cool, that's all everybody needs to know. You know what I mean? You know, we move on with our lives with you know.
No, man. I'm in a state of my life. I don't have
drama.
No, I just want to be happy, man.
You want good energy.
Yes.
You got anything you want to promote before you get up out of here?
A to MIA. A to MIA is my nonprofit, and we create awareness and raise funds for organizations that aid in health in oppressed communities.
Right.
And we do this every single year. You can go on our website, officialaidtomia.com, and you can donate money. All of our paperwork is available for everyone to see. And if you do decide that you want to prove to yourself that anything is possible, next year in the springtime, we're taking our bike ride from Atlanta to Miami again, 777 miles.
Yeah.
That anything is possible. So if you want to take that ride and prove to yourself and everyone else that the world is yours, join us next year.
That's awesome, man. Everybody, this is my girl Veronica Vega, passing through Celebrity Tuesdays. Yo, Veronica, love you, girl, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Anything you need, you know, you breaking new music, you know to hit me up. I got your back over here, girl.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless.
God bless you, girlfriend. Have a good night, beautiful.
Good night.
Veronica Vega, passing Celebrity Tuesdays, man. Yeah, you already know, man. I'm gonna be at that finish line, just holding up the rope and stuff for when everybody come across that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that shit down. Yo, man, hey, listen, man. Next Tuesday, yeah, you've been asking for it. We gonna bring the OG. We gonna bring the yo. He's about to come drop some gem, man. So big shout to my man MC Search. Gonna be on the show next Tuesday, live and direct for you and yours. He got a brand new joint. Yeah, man, it's a vibe. You heard me broke it yesterday on New Music Mondays. It was a great situation last night. So if you know who MC Search is, please, man, pull up on Celebrity Tuesdays next Tuesday, June 20th, right here, live and direct for you and yours on the DJ Epps and Friends show. All right, man. Once again, the show is brought to you by Positivity Water. We want everybody to have a good night, blessed night, and please, man, you know, be safe out there. I'm gonna be on the turntables tomorrow. We're gonna play some records. We're gonna break some new records. I'm gonna do my mix. You know what it is, man. So yeah. Everybody, be safe, have a good night, and once again, thank you for joining me, DJ Epps on Celebrity Tuesdays. All right, holla!
DJ Epps.
Oh, Lord.